Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. I have a little finish flip through of a journal for you today. So I hope you enjoy. Was the project I was talking about, doing something different and something I've never done before. So what I did on this journal was make a soft spine. So this is the book. This is a vintage children's books from the early 1960s. I have done this one, and then I have three more here that are, is it three more? Oh, I have four more. I have four more that I had gotten ready to do something with. I made two into a spiral spine, spiral, the metal spirals, cinch bound. I made two into those, so those are in my Etsy shop. And then I have these that were sitting waiting for me to decide how I wanted to bind these, because originally I was going to make them all into spiral, and I made two, and I was like, I don't know if I want to make them all into spiral. So not really spiral, it's a cinch bound, it's the metal coils, not the spiral. I'm saying spiral, but I don't mean spiral. Anyway, so I have four more to do. And even for the spirals, I had gotten all the pages ready here. You know how you cut them different. You don't fold them for the cinch bound. So I had gotten all the pages ready for all of these. And then I changed my mind. So I've got to decide what to do with all of these papers too that I had gotten ready for these. So anyway, those are my next projects that I want to do because they've been sitting here. And I don't want them sitting here anymore, but this was super fun. It came out nice, so I do want to make at least one more soft spine. So you can see this is the book. It's really pretty with the blue and gray. This is the spine where it's the, I had a quilt top that I used, and I used a piece of it here on the spine. Black rickrack on the front and the back. This is sewn together here with what I have on the inside. 3 signatures, and it's sewn, the rickrack is, it's sewn under the rickrack, and you can see that on the inside stitching, but I put the rickrack over the stitching, not to cover the stitching, just to have a nice finished look here on the front and the back. And I also sewed around the book cover here, front and back, with some zigzag stitching, just for this, to have this stitched look. I wasn't sewing anything together, just I wanted the stitching. And then this is the closure here, a little elastic band that when you take it off, it can just flip around and it can sit in the back here on, let me get it open. It can sit in the back on this back cover like this when you're not using it. So it just sits like that, and it's attached right here and here with some little eyelets. So that is the closure. So, and I'll show you this after we get done, but I want to do a quick flip through. I don't want this video to be too long, but yeah, here's the inside. This book plate was already here, and it was so cute. I left it, and I love the inside. This was the paper on the inside of this book, so that is also pretty on the front and back. I'll show you the back real quick too. Isn't that neat? So I left that. Inside here, to make the soft spine, is wallpaper. So I have wallpaper and the fabric, and that's what's making up my soft spine. And it is, flexible like the soft spines are, see? And you can fold it back. Let's see, I don't know if I'd fold it back in the middle of a signature though. Like, I know between the signatures it will fold nicely back like that. I just don't know if I'm afraid it would break apart. I don't know. I don't want to try that. I'm afraid. I'm not trying it. Anyway, so here is the first signature. So we'll just do a quick flip through. I used some pretty papers, pretty scrapbook papers, some of my vintage, eclectic papers, and I just really tried to use up a lot of my ephemera too, as much as I could fit in here without, completely overstuffing it. But this is the scrapbook paper, and so I won't say scrapbook paper every time, but you'll know when you see pretty papers like this is the double-sided scrapbook paper. I have one of these logarithmic papers in each signature, so I won't say that every time. I'll just say this, what this first signature is, and then the rest of the signatures you'll know. We'll just flip through real quick. So this is Edith Holden, and the Edith Holden I used in here is from the Edith Holden Nature Notes. So you get the lines with that book. On this side, you get the pretty Edith Holden on this side a lot of times, and then you get the lines on this side. So that is nice. This is this is a vintage card. I put on all the fold outs, I put some kind of decoration or embellishment or something. So on this one I put a vintage card, a playing card. This is some of the lined music, you know, that where you draw your own music, and this is hand drawn by someone. This music, it's like art. It looks like art, even though they were probably just drawing or writing out their music. It just looks so beautiful that I thought it would be pretty in here. This is a little Edith Holden piece that is attached with a brad. And here on this fold out, it's a fold out. I have a couple pieces of Tim Holtz here with a little picture tucked in here. And this is a little tuck spot right there. And this is a vintage card where it's one of these that opens up like this, and you can journal inside or do whatever you would like in there. The cutoffs from the Edith Holden, I had to cut it down a little bit to fit in here, and you really don't even notice it, but I had to cut a little bit off the bottom. So there, the pretty little piece was at the bottom, and I made tabs with those. So that's the first one. This is that yellow ledger that I have with the pretty different colored lines. I put on this fold out here, I put a glassine bag into the tuck spot behind it with a pretty journaling card right there, that's behind. And then inside the glassine bag is one of my collage Monopoly tags, and that is messy stitched around too. Some planner paper there. This is the paper bag that I had that I've made into pages, so there's one there. I used some garden book pages in here. I have a belly band in each signature, so here's one. And this is an envelope made from a children's book. Got some little, that says for the record, and label there, and a little label there. And it's just a cute little envelope. And then this is a journaling card that has music backed with coffee dye music, and just a pretty little tag tucked behind there. And then this is in each signature. I also have a page from my Shel Silverstein book right here. So what is that, in The Light in the Attic, that book, that's from that. And then here are some double pockets. I have a little decoration on each one, just a little pieces and things I put together there. It was burgundy backing, so that looked good with this scrapbook paper. A couple of journaling cards here that I made. Tag, those are in there. On all the strings, I put tiny tags that I made today with my Cricut. I just, you know, I haven't had my Cricut very long. My sister-in-law gave it to me, and I've been wanting to make some of these little tags, so I just got some of my scraps out and made some today, and then I decided to use them right there. Here's, I know I showed them to you in another video, but in case you didn't see that, see here, here's the ones I made out of scrapbook paper. Aren't they cute? They're so tiny. They're adorable. They're like, I put it on the 1-inch setting, and that's what made these. And I made some out of manila folder too. Look at these. They're so cute. I got to show you real quick. I got to punch the holes out of them too. That actually, the Cricut cut little holes in them too, but I got to punch those out with my little thing that punches those type of things out. So in this other pocket, these two pieces I believe I got in Happy Mail. I have several of these and a couple of these little cardboard type craft colored postcards, and this is a journaling spot. I'm not going to untie it right now, but this just unties and it kind of unfolds like an envelope, and then it's a blank inside where you can write in there. And this was from an envelope, a big kind of decorated brown envelope that I cut down and made into like different things, like journaling spots like that. I still have some of those left, I think. So we're on the back half of the second signature. There's a ruffle here. I have one ruffle in this section or signature. And then so we're on the back half, like I said. On this piece of ledger here, on this fold out, there's a receipt that came in the ledger book. So I left it there. And this guest check, excuse me, is on it's on a hinge so that you don't lose this space here. And then you have space on the back of the guest check and the front. Here I made a little tuck spot with some coffee dyed tickets on this fold out. And there's a journaling card made out of, one of those index divider cards or recipe divider cards. It's decorated. And there's the fold out, some more of that music paper. And this is the Edith Holden page, the other side of it, where I have a tab, fussy cut from scrapbook paper. And then this is the rest of that signature. Second signature here. So we'll just kind of flip quickly unless there's something different. There's a rub on here, pretty little bird. And this is a vintage card. It's got a very beautiful deckled edge and just, vintage colors there. Just so pretty. I love that pink and blue. And then Edith Holden. I used a tag here as the tab on this fold out. This is a little, on this music paper here, I put a little piece of Tim Holtz. Let me make sure you can see that. Yeah, you can. But it's so small. Let me hold the book up, or the journal up. So it's a little piece of Tim Holtz right here. And I put a little picture behind it. This came in the Tim Holtz pack too. And so you can put a little picture back there or leave this one in there. But isn't that adorable? I was like, I had to put a picture in there, and I couldn't believe he had one so small in there. So those had to go together. That Edith Holden tab there. And you've seen these. You know what these are. There's our Shel Silverstein. So the pockets in the middle. Here's the little, these are coffee dyed little mini tags on these strings. Here's a little tag in here with some die cuts and a butterfly. This is a tag with, it's got several pieces on here. It says favorite spot. There's some little cameras there. Label, navy blue fabric, a bold pin with a key, and a little bead. Those were fun to make. And then a little journaling card here made from my In Love Arts goodies. This was a cover, like in the wallpaper, it was a little wallpaper sample book this size that I showed you in my thrifty video. Label, some vintage sewn on tablecloth there. Oh, there's a little bird sticker, or a little piece of, this is from a vintage children's book, little birds I stuck on there. Oh, and this is a little postage stamp that I stuck on there. I forgot I put that on there. But you know how big wallpaper sample books have pictures and things of how to use the wallpaper, right? Well, this one had little pictures like this. So cute, right? And the perfect little size for a journaling card. And then here's another one made out of a recipe card. That's some more of that vintage tablecloth with several pretty pieces there. And this is a piece of that wallpaper with some pretty little bits on it. So those are all in this pocket here. And this is the second half of the second signature. Let's see, here's the belly band in this signature with these two little pieces. Journaling cards, decorated, all kinds of fun little bits on there. And then that's all the belly bands are sewn on. Edith Holden here. This is the planner paper with the Edith Holden scrap that I used as a tab. A little like tab ruffle there, fabric ruffle. This fold out has a vintage florist card on it. So that's fun. This fold out, see, I didn't want to cut off these fold outs, and you can always make these into side tucks too by gluing them down. I just thought it was fun to have all these fold outs for some reason in this journal. It's kind of good. That's what I was led to do here. That's a vibe I was getting. So I put a 2-1 here for 2021 or whatever you want 21 to stand for. And this is the back of that vintage card that I just mentioned with the pretty colors. And so I wanted to put an envelope in here. This is a pretty envelope. It has some daisies, and you can see it's blue. And then I attached it with, and it's sticking here. It's dry, and it's been dry. for a long time. So I don't know why it keeps sticking, but it sticks, and I just pull on it and it comes apart. But this has kitty cats here and kitty cats on the inside. It's a really beautiful envelope. And I attached it with a hinge. I was just trying to think of a way to attach it without it being sewn in, and also to have the most accessibility here to the opening. And then here I just have a couple little, like could be a little bookmark or a journaling spot. And this is a little coffee dyed paper that I was playing around with, and that's one of my rub-ons. I just wanted to see what it looked like on coffee dyed paper, and made that into a little journaling spot. So that was fun. So like I said, I think I said this is the back half of the second signature. So that's that. This is the third signature. This is one of my 52 tags, handmade tags, where we were to sew this stitch right here. And instead of using embroidery thread, I used a ribbon, and it's on denim. And then I glued it onto this manila folder to make it into a solid tag and have a little lace there. I have a little label down here on this pocket with a rub on here. This is a pink flower rub-on to kind of bring the pink and the pink together, you know. And so let's see what else we have here that might be different. I used the same type of papers, but not the same paper, of course, in every signature. But here's, on this fold out, I used a piece of, this is a pretty piece of the wallpaper, that little wallpaper sample book. Isn't it cute? I love those little wallpaper samples. Here on this music page with the hand-drawn music, I put a little heart rub-on right here. And this is a fold-out. For this one, I, hinged on a recipe card so that you can still fold out and see what's under here. And put, writing or something under here. And then you have this space on the front and the back of the recipe card. A ruffle here, a little like tabby ruffle tab. So let's see, a fold out here with a tab that is a little tag, a little graph. It was an index card that I cut into a tag and attached it there as a tab. Here's the pockets here in the middle of this signature. And here's a little journaling card, another little journaling card, and a little file folder. This was made out of a manila folder that I cut down and, shaped into a file folder. It has vintage book page behind, a little label here with a Tim Holtz guy, and that says just at the moment. And this is a piece of greenery from my In Love Arts goodies. And I outlined this and this to have it, help it stand out more. Those were really fun, and I need to make some more of those. Those are fun. On the pockets here, I have some pretty little decorations here. I think these are from Your Creative Studio. But aren't those pretty? This one you can write on. And they're very vintage looking. This is a library card. It's yellow on the front. It was printed. I have a digital kit where I can print the library cards in. I got it because you can print the library cards in different colors. So this one was the yellow one. This is a little journaling card. And this is a journaling kind of spot I made with some pretty bits and pieces. And it's just coffee dyed paper that unfolds. And then you have all that room inside. Fold out here, where here's another receipt I left on. It has even a kind of almost is it a rusty staple? I think it's almost rusty, or it just looks kind of aged. This is a little card I made from a book page. And it opens up. You can write here. I put a writing spot inside, but it actually opens all the way up if you wanted to do something there on that inside part. Did I say all the belly bands are sewn on? They are, if I didn't. This is a postcard that I printed and had made for a design team project, but I don't think I ever used it. And this is an actual old vintage postcard. It has the old stamp there and the writing. And I think I probably didn't like the front of it, so I decorated it with some bits and pieces, and they're all like vintage pieces. At least these three are. This was a die cut from Maria. This is from a vintage tea towel. So that was fun. And where was that? Oh, in the belly band. So that goes here. This third signature has 2 ruffles in it. I had just pulled out 4 And I was like, well, I guess this one's going to have two because I pulled out 4 pieces of fabric. So this is music paper here with a little pretty little tab there. And this is another Edith Holden tab. And the tab on this one is a mini Rolodex card on that fold out. I didn't want to cut off all those, the fold outs. I didn't want to cut off all that and have all those scraps. It's just better just to leave them on there. And then it'll be fold outs, or you can make them into tuck spots. So, and I always just got the vibe that, I don't know why, sometimes I glue them all down or sew them down, those tuck spots. And this time I got the vibe that I should leave them as fold outs. And it was super fun decorating them too. So this one came out super cool. I'm going to make at least one more soft spine. And I'm getting the goodie bag together. I haven't even got the bag out yet, but I will. But I gathered up the scraps from this. So I've got like ledger paper, some of the pretty scrapbook papers. All these are scrapbook paper here, all those. And that's all I had. I used the rest of the scraps in the journal. This is the spine that I made into a bookmark. So, it wasn't, this is added to it. This is rickrack that I zigzag stitched on with, backed it with manila folder for stability. So, because it was just a little kind of flimsy piece of spine that was left when I took it apart, and then sewed it all back together to make a nice and sturdy little bookmark there. And I'm including a couple of pockets because I was going to put these in there. And then I didn't want to make this any bulkier. So I just thought, well, I'll just pass them along in the goodie bag. And I'm going to get some more little buttons and punch outs and things like that to include. I just haven't got that all together yet. And, just got things to do. But this will be in my shop when you see this video. And so I hope you enjoyed my first soft spine journal I ever made. And I love this quilt piece on here, how it looks. And I just think it came out it was so fun. And I can't wait to do the next one. So you should see another one soon. And so thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I'll see you next time. Happy crafting and have a great day.